Welcome. In this video, I'll share a little about my education, license requirements, experience, and some personal hobbies at the end. Research finds the relationship between therapist and client is the most important factor for treatment progress. With that in mind, let's get going. I carry 2 licenses in the state of Texas to provide psychotherapy. Anyone who provides a form of therapy can call themselves a therapist. However, I approach treatment from a wellness model due to my training and education. More on that later. The first license is a licensed professional counselor, and the second is a licensed chemical dependency counselor. My education consists of 3 completed degrees and 1 currently in progress. While playing baseball in college, I finished 2 Bachelor of Arts degrees in psychology and history. After my undergraduate degrees, I completed a Master of Science in Clinical Mental Health Counseling from an accredited program. The accrediting body is the Council for Accreditation of Counseling and Related Educational Programs, or CACREP. More on that later. After I finished my master's, I chose to engage with the field and learn more about the details and different methods of helping people. I felt there was more to learn still and decided to pursue my doctorate in psychology, which I'm currently working on. The first license I'll discuss is the LCDC, or Licensed Chemical Dependency Counselor, since that has a lower barrier to entry. While I could provide therapy for addictions with an LPC, I wanted the LCDC to share my continued interest, education, and growth in treating addictions. If someone has an LCDC, they are at least 18 years old and have a high school diploma or equivalent. If they do not have an advanced degree like a bachelor's or master's degree, they must complete 270 classroom hours of addiction and counseling education. They must then also complete 300 hours of supervised experience from a board-approved LCDC. Lastly, all LCDCs, regardless of education, must pass a criminal background check and the state licensing exam. The second license is an LPC, or Licensed Professional Counselor, which allows me to provide addiction and mental health psychotherapy in the state of Texas. To earn the LPC, someone has a minimum of a master's degree from an accredited program regulated by that mouthful of an acronym, CACREP, as mentioned earlier. While in the master's, I completed 900 supervised hours, and that's my program, and most programs will be similar. After you finish your master's, you must pass the National Counselor exam and the Texas Jurisprudence exam before beginning your 3,000 supervised hours under a board-approved supervisor. Once those requirements are met, you must pass a criminal background check and a federal fingerprint. During my master's, I was fortunate to begin getting hands-on experience working in the mental health field. Initially, my role was in the mobile crisis outreach team, providing suicide and mental health risk assessments and getting people connected to appropriate services. Then I transitioned to working with people who had been admitted to an inpatient psychiatric facility or hospital at least 3 times over the last year and helped them transition to living in the community. I also held a role in a residential portion where adult men struggling with addiction and mental health struggles would stay and live there for 90 days. After community mental health experience, I began working at an advocacy center, providing therapy to individuals struggling with intimate partner violence, victims of violent crime, and trauma. However, I returned to the psychiatric hospital system by working at a program for adolescents, providing group and family therapy. I began working in a private practice and building it up before leaving work at the hospital system. Something that a lot of people get confused, and my in-laws and family members included, is that LPCs and psychologists are different. Remember that anyone who provides therapy can call themselves a therapist. Marriage and family therapists, psychologists, LPCs, LCDCs, even physical therapists can all call themselves therapists. However, to be a psychologist, you need a minimum of a doctorate and, through their training, tend to view mental health through the disease model rather than the wellness model. Each has pros and cons, and if you want to learn more, please email me and I can speak further on the differences between each license, theory, and model of viewing mental health. Ultimately, the most significant difference people experience is that psychologists can do more psychological assessments, advocacy, and mental health evaluations because counselors have limited training in assessment instruments. While I have quite a bit of education and training and experiences, I am still human. And so outside of the office, I have grown to enjoy working on my lawn and an ornamental garden, which my wife primarily maintains. I do think that's the challenging part, even though I do a lot of the digging and planting. I still love baseball and I'm a huge Rangers fan. I also enjoy learning about cars and auto detailing. Lastly, I thoroughly enjoy reading scientific, nonfiction, or self-help books. To see what I have read or recommend, please look at the learning materials page or shoot me an email. I am also happy to share what I'm currently reading or specific recommendations to you. I hope you learned a little bit about the general background of common licenses you may see among therapists and a bit about my own. If you have any questions or want something else addressed that I haven't yet, please email me or call me. Thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.